Hello everyone, welcome to the next case of Back to Bedside. My name is Petra Cimflova. I'm a fellow in interventional neuroradiology in Bern, Switzerland, and I would like to share with you a case of Chimera of isolated common carotid artery dissection, which I saw together with my colleague from neurology, Professor Thomas Meinel. So this was a case of 85-year-old female who was currently living in an assisted living facility, and she was found in the bathroom after activating so-called emergency button at 8 in the morning, and she was last seen well a half an hour before by the personnel. She presented with a left-sided hemisyndrome with left-sided hemiplegia and hemihypostasia. She had a moderate dysarthria. She had a forced gaze palsy to the right, complete hemianopsy, and partial left facial palsy. She had no diabetes mellitus type 2, and on the presentation her blood pressure was 109/70, which was slightly towards the hypotension. She had a normal heart rate of 66 pulses per minute, and she was mildly hyperventilating with 22 breaths per minute. So we performed the initial imaging, which in Bern is mainly acquired with MRI. The DWI showed just a few punctuate lesions in the right hemisphere. The perfusion showed a severe hypoperfusion in the whole right hemisphere, and on the MR angiography, we can notice a filling defect in the right common carotid artery. The internal carotid artery was filled through the collaterals from the externa, as well as intracranially through the circle of Willis. So the patient received thrombolysis and was brought to angio-suite for mechanical thrombectomy or for the procedure. On the initial imaging, we actually noticed an intimal flap through the whole common carotid artery. So we actually decided to stent this dissection, and this was the final image on the right side after the stenting. Intracranially, there was no occlusion, and in Bern we also performed a flat panel perfusion right after the procedure, which showed no residual hypoperfusion or filling defect. The patient after the procedure was progressively suffering from reduced vigilance, so the follow-up CT and CT angiography was indicated. First, to exclude any hemorrhage intracranially, and second, the angiography to actually evaluate the patency of the stents in the common carotid artery. And these were the images from the SCOUT and from the aortic arch when we noticed an intimal flap in the aorta indicating an aortic dissection. So, did we miss initially anything? Well, our patient did not complain about any back or chest pain. There were no signs of dissection on the initial MRI, which is unfortunately an imaging limitation for the MR angiography. She had no pulse differences in her arms and had no cold limb. There were no signs of the aortic dissection on DSA, because there was no other vessel was affected by the dissection, and the aortography, the imaging of the aortic arch itself, it's not a standard procedure or a standard step in the mechanical thrombectomy or any other intervention from neurointerventional point. So did we miss anything initially? No, but we need to keep in mind that spontaneous, isolated, common carotid artery dissection or occlusion is extremely rare, so there is approximately 30 cases described in the literature. Mostly, these cases are related to the history of direct trauma or coexisting aortic dissection. There are other risk factors related to common carotid artery dissection, such as hypertension, hyperlipidemia, migraine, hyperhomocystinemia, fibromuscular dysplasia, or connective tissue disorders such as Marfan syndrome or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So another red flags in our patient could be patient's age. She was 85-year-old lady, which is pretty rare to have an isolated common carotid artery dissection. She had dramatically elevated D-dimer before the thrombolysis, which unfortunately the results came back during the procedure. However, these could be also elevated in patients with a stroke related to an oncological disease. And all these could actually point towards the CTA right after the mechanical thrombectomy. So the clinical characteristics of aortic dissection is typically chest and back pain, a low blood pressure. Our patient was borderline hypotensive, but it could have been a sign. A weak pulse, dyspnea, diaphoresis, and loss of consciousness in case there is an associated anterior circulation stroke. So the take-home messages is this isolated common carotid artery dissection is rare. In case of isolated common carotid artery dissection, always suspect an underlying cause such as aortic dissection, and always check the aortic arch in your CT angiography, or include the CT angiography in case your center is also using primarily MRI. And it also highlights the importance of interdisciplinary discussion in unusual cases. And keep in mind that aortic dissections can sometimes be painless or atypical, especially if your patient is suffering from aphasia. He may also be unaware of his or her state, or they can have a loss of consciousness. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention.